The 11 disciples went to Galilee, to the mountain where Jesus had told them to go. And they saw him, they worshiped him, but even then some doubted. Jesus came to them and said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore go make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Teach them to obey everything I have commanded you, and surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." The word from the Lord in the house of the Lord. In the beginning, for every one of us there was a new beginning. Oh, we can go look in Genesis, and we can look in John, and we can say where it says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." And then we read, or we listen as God created man in his own image. In their image, they created him. So the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit were one before the world became. So what we have to remember is that in the beginning, for each one of us, should refer almost to every day. When we get out of bed, it's a new beginning. That the relationship we had with God yesterday may be different than the one we have today. We can get angry as we watch the news. We can have our hearts broken when we watch the news. We can listen to the fiery rhetoric of the services that we're on. But remember that each and every day is the beginning of a new relationship with God. Once in a while you get up early in the morning and you're angry. And it's hard to have a relationship with God when you're angry. We forget to pray when we're angry. We forget to forgive when we're angry. We forget to do all of the things that we have been commanded to do when we're mad, when we're angry. But we have a new day tomorrow, to have a new beginning tomorrow, to take all of the junk we've got left over from all of the years. And some of us got a lot of years and a lot of junk stored up. But we can get rid of it and start fresh tomorrow. A new beginning, a new start, a brand new trial of how we can be closer to God. In the beginning, he created. Now, I'm not a literalist. I think it took him more than 6 days. Of course, if his days are 1,000,000 years long, then I suppose he could do it in 6 days. But he did it. I can accept that he did it. I can accept when I see the hummingbirds come to our feeder and those wings are going like crazy, they don't even put their feet down. They just fly while they're drinking. And I think, how can that bird flap its wings that way, and then the big ugly blackbirds that come around? Isn't it amazing? Some things that we look at look kind of ugly to us in creation. We look early in the spring, and the desert's blah, and it rains, and the desert blooms. It's the same desert. It's the same place. It's the same vision, except God has entered into the equation again. And then there are days when my days are just kind of like that desert early in the spring, and there's nothing there. There's nothing of semblance of wonders until I take time to look around, until I pause long enough to realize that I have a new beginning. And it can come at 7 o'clock in the morning or 5:30 in the morning, or not till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or maybe not at all today. But the opportunity that God gives me to renew a relationship, to renew a covenant every day. I believe that he started creating something, some way, somehow, and did it in time for me to be here. So I think his timing is wonderful. Because if he hadn't gotten it done by now, I wouldn't even be here. So, But when we stop and think that he gives us a new beginning, maybe every hour, but it's real, it's absolute, and it's yours as soon as you accept that it is your relationship with God that has been renewed. Easy to talk about. Easy to say, oh yeah, God forgives. But I keep him busy forgiving. I wish I could maybe someday have a whole day without anger. A whole day without turning my back on him. A whole day without worrying about my material things, my mortgage and my car payment and all that stuff. And then I realize I can have a day free from any of that worry, free from all of that worry, if I just remember who's in charge of my life. Besides Nancy. Yeah, it's a new beginning. And God took his time creating man. He waited till the 6th day to create man. And then he was satisfied because the next day he rested. I didn't have you read, he rested. Be careful we don't get too satisfied too soon and rest before it's time. But remember also that God took the time to pause at the end of each day, at the end of each accomplishment, at the end of each portion of the creation story. He paused to look and see and understand it is good. So your relationship with him needs to be examined on a regular basis. Your relationship with him needs to be looked at often. And remember that relationship is good. That's why he created man, for company. God's a social being. Didn't want to be alone. So he created us. I think he probably did a better job the first 6 days than he's done lately. But he is in charge. He is the one. And that's what we have to remember. In spite of all of the stuff that's going on around us, he's still in charge of the overall picture. The nonsense, not his. The good sense comes from him. So when you get up in the morning, it's a new day. It's a new beginning. It's a new chance for things to go well. And if you burn the eggs, drop the pancakes on the floor, start over. Have another new beginning. God will give you as many as you need. He will never leave you short of opportunities to be closer to him. We are the only ones who shut that door between him and us. It's never locked from his side. Always open from his side. So in the beginning, let it be a new beginning every time you realize you've separated yourself. Every time that you've done something that you look back on and say, I shouldn't have done that. Know that it's a new beginning, that you've realized there's something in between you and God, and you're willing to take a step forward, that he can take a giant leap to be one with you where you are. Yeah, we've got things to worry about. Little things. Car payments, mortgages, sicknesses, lockdowns, whatever. But the important thing to remember is that through it all, everywhere we are, so is he. New beginnings. He's not going to recreate this world, but he'll recreate your world every time you turn to him. In the beginning is something we need to plant in our mind and realize that in the beginning is every time that we need him to turn us a different direction. In the beginning and all the time from then on, he is with us. And he says, as he looks at us, it is good. It is good. Amen. Be safe. Be aware. Know that you can start over any time with the Lord. For in the beginning is his favorite word. For each time we turn to him, it's a new beginning. And one that will give you peace. That peace that passes all understanding. The peace of being one with him, who created, who loves, and loves forever. Amen.